So far, Ather has had two products in its lineup, the Sporty 450 and the family-centric Rizta. But underneath the different bodyworks, they're largely based on the same chassis platform. Ather wants to increase the number of products it has, and for that, it has created a new chassis platform called EL. Now, this is just one of multiple possibilities that Ather will explore in the future with its future platform, the EL. And this is, as you can see, a more family-centric electric scooter. Let me take you what's new on the Ather EL. First, let's start with the chassis. The 450 and the Rizta chassis wasn't a single unibody thing, it was bits and pieces that were bolted together. However, on the EL, what Ather has done is it's a single unibody steel frame construction, and while the frames will differ depending on the sort of product that you go in the future to buy, the main crux of the chassis will stay the same with small little tweaks to the subframe and the floorboard depending on what sort of battery pack it houses. And this concept has a huge 7-inch color TFT display as far as I can tell. It's not really on right now, just the words EL01 show up on the screen. But that's a pretty big color TFT display. We've only seen something similar on the Honda Activa E Road Sync Duo. That is the top variant of the Activa Electric that's on sale. It should be a slick user interface in typical Ather fashion. And right now we can't show you more, but promising things ahead from the EL platform. Speaking of battery packs, that's one of the most important things on an electric two-wheeler, and Ather has told us that this EL platform can accommodate a small battery pack of 2 kWh right up to a 5 kWh mark. That's a pretty good range to have, and it covers almost the entire spectrum of battery packs and sizes that are available on the electric two-wheeler market today. How do you charge the EL? Well, Ather has realized that the portable charger, despite having a big boot, it does eat up into the boot space. So what they have cleverly done is the EL models will be having an onboard charger, so you simply need to carry a little bit of a cable and it doesn't eat into your boot space if you lug around your charger when you're on the move. The Ather EL models will also be compatible with the company's widespread grid fast charging network. As we know, there is a faster grid charger that Ather is going to show, and that will soon supplement the existing charging network. That is another plus point of an Ather. All these years that Ather has had the Rizta and the 450 in production and on sale, it has been taking feedback from customers, from the media, and a few things that really stood out to me as soon as I entered the room where this thing has been parked are two little things. First, you can see that this thing has actual foot pegs, not just a little piece that extends from the bodywork. It's really helpful for somebody like myself with bigger feet, and in general, it's just a more straightforward thing to have foot pegs on a scooter. It's more comfortable for the pillion to place their feet. Another thing that I really like, and I think it should be a necessity on all gearless scooters, is this thing, a parking brake lock clasp. Whether or not this thing has hill hold control remains to be seen, but I'm just grateful that you have the option of a parking brake lock clasp. Another little convenient point on the EL that I'm just now noticing is that it has a storage cubby over here. On the long-term Rizta that I used to run, I used to always find the lack of a storage cubby a bit of a problem, especially for a short distance commute where I need access to my phone sometimes. So that is a good move from Ather in that regard. Now, talking about the concept that we have in front of us, as you can see, this is more of a family-centric, practical sort of electric scooter to come from Ather in the coming months. Interesting detail, it's got a 14-inch front wheel and a 12-inch rear wheel. This is something similar to the TVS Orbiter that was just recently launched. As you can see, it's still got a front disc brake, rear drum brake. But what Ather has done is, instead of having a mid-mounted motor with a belt drive on the 450 and the Rizta, you now get a swing arm mounted motor which connects directly to the rear wheel. Performance and all is still not nailed down. That will be shared at a later date. And while what you see in front of you is a family-centric scooter based on the EL platform, in the future there will be more variations based on the same platform. The possibilities range from a big maxi-style scooter with 14-inch wheels at both ends to a sporty, nimble city runabout thing, not like the 450 because the 450 is the pinnacle of what Ather is capable of, but something in that vein. That will be a smaller, lighter thing, smaller battery pack perhaps, 12-inch wheels at both ends. The possibilities are endless. Ather themselves are still learning new things with the EL platform, and there's a lot of exciting stuff to come from Ather based on this platform in the future. And speaking of when we'll be able to see the first production model based on the Ather EL platform, That we have been informed will be next festive season, that's 2026. It remains to be seen which is the first sort of form factor that Ather debuts on the brand new EL platform, but it is sure to be an interesting thing. And not just on the product side of things, Ather has been smart about its EL platform in that it has also thought about the after sales. Now currently the Rizta and the 450 have about a 5,000 kilometer service interval. Ather tells us that with the EL platform, every product will have a 10,000 kilometer service interval. Straight away, that's half the amount of time that you need to visit a service center, and Ather has paid particular attention to how you service the vehicle as well. The company tells us that with the EL platform, vehicles will be twice as quick to service as on the current 450 and Rizta platforms, which should also be beneficial to a customer in the long run. All in all, it seems like the company has incorporated a lot of customer feedback into its new EL platform, and I for one can't wait to ride the first model on this platform.